Well, this has so much insulation on it to keep it quiet. Well, what I was feeling was a start capacitor for the motor. So, I'm overlooking something here. I thought I was a rookie, I had never done this. Oh, there it is. Oh, jeez. So like I said, follow the hoses on the side. Get to looking around. And there that puppy is, hiding from me. So this is where you connect your drainage hose from. A lot of times will put them back in there and then connect them just around back like we're going to do anyway. Makes life a little easier. So we're going to grab our hose, spin our dishwasher around, get in here again. I can't believe how much stuff this has on here. It's kind of nice to make it quiet. Yeah, let's put up a fight. There we go. So it's as simple as pushing it together. Pushing it together, it'll seal itself, but it's best to have that clamp. Okay. And now for this. Gotta adjust these down because I want enough. There is a special tool for these type of clamps, but I must be too chintzy to buy one. Give me them bigger channels over, please, Boone. I'm over here fighting with these silly little ones. I guess it is late. I guess it is late in the day. My brain don't want to work. It shuts down at 5. Yeah.
Maybe it's just the angle.
It's gotta be. That I could barely reach it. There we go. It's not all the way on, so we're going to do it a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so that's connected. So we're going to take this little fancy smancy thing and put it back on so the sound's muffled. We're going to take our water line, we're going to send it through there until it pops out the front. Got our water line popping out the front. Make sure if you have a bunch that your coils took care of so they don't get coiled up and pinched. And then I suggest, this one don't have a whole lot of slack on the electric, as you can see it over there. So we're going to try to guide it where it needs to go, which would be over there on that front right corner. So if you can kind of watch it over on that side while we push it back a bit, make sure that puppy don't get hemmed up.
It's that box.
And then we're going to push him on back. Is there another one of these yellow things on the side by the spring that says remove and discard? Yeah, go ahead and pull it off there.
You need it?
No, I just seen that it said discard and I'm like, I better take that loose. Yeah, alright, so let's start sliding this puppy back. Scoot over a little bit. so it's not so quiet. I normally will push in a bunch of the cloth so that it's like that far because it's so darn tight. You can use a wood shim or something up top to kind of push it in underneath the countertop. It's always such a bear to get it in with these on it, so I kind of give it a jump start. That way when I get it into place, it's where it needs to be. I don't know if this is the greatest way to do it, but it works for me because it tends to slide forward. See what I'm saying? As you push it in anyway. I probably will have to grab my wood shim. You know what I could do? Is we got a bunch of slack on our PEX water line. We're going to cut us a piece of it and use it to push some of that back. We're crack packing over here. That's the crack. Alright, so where's how's our electric doing? Let's double check it. Oh, Ben's already got it pushed in. So he pushed it up to it, or just happened to make it there nicely, one of the two.
I don't know how far you want to go.
Let's try to take it. I got a little more insulation here on the side that I need to push in. We're going to try to bottom it out to that rubber gasket right here is up against here. So it's going to push some of this in on the end. So that it don't get pinched. There you go. Let's see if we can't do that on the other side. Boy, that's a tight fit. The other side's good. So I'm going to go ahead and keep on pushing back. My metal is clear on this side. How's your metal over there? It's clear. And we'll get it to where that rubber is right there. That rubber helps with the noise as well.
Back in there. I think you should just flop over. I think it's supposed to just flop it. There we go. Farther and it's like you can't get to your buttons.
I know, I worry about that too. So that space is almost too tight for everything there. Alright. So now, don't really matter the order. We're going to take our electric wire and fish it in from out back here. So we've got it on in. And there was a nut, and that tightened it down so it didn't wobble around and get it on there. There's also a tool for these, but you always just put them on, and if you want, you can use a screwdriver to tighten them up a little bit. There you go. Once you get it started, it's a lot easier. Sorry, it's real hard to see what I'm doing. Just using both fingers to tighten it on. It's not like it's a garbage disposal. The wire's gonna get pushed and pulled and tugged on when they pack the cabinet out. So it's not that big a deal to make it super tight. You know, by all rights, should you? Probably so. I mean, at least snug, but to me, hand tight's plenty. The ground, obviously you want it on there nice. It's got this big old collar on it. That's back in there. Their wires should be behind that collar. This thing's putting up a fight. So, darn it, come on. There we go. This thing's a pain in the butt. They're normally not this hard. There we go. I'm pleased with that now. The ground wire is behind that little washer. It's kind of supposed to help anchor it down. We're gonna get it tightened down. And I'll make the ground wires nice and snug, get them pretty darn tight. Now without stripping the screw. Again, our power was turned off earlier. Your black one on 115 is always supposed to be your hot. Real super easy. Just color code them. Black to black, white to white. If you mix them, it will not work. It'll trip the breaker. Some people will take and twist these first with pliers. Yeah, twist their wires first with pliers and then do the wire nut. You know, I'm sure that that's a good way of doing it. I just don't happen to do it that way. I just grab a hold of them and crank that wire nut until, yeah, just about till I can't really get it anymore. Or it's super tight. Some wires are weak enough that they can't handle that. But these are all fairly new, so I don't have to really worry about. This door's a little funny. It's got these little hinge type of pieces on it. You have to get them to click in first, and it kind of swings like a door. So once you get them through there like that, swing her shut, and get that screw. Put that bad boy. Oh, it's not that one. That would have worked. Well, that was the one. The old Torx head. Some Phillips heads, you can make them work in the Torx. It's not the right thing to do, but every now and again it will work. But we're using a quarter inch nut driver, or the screwdriver is 6-in-1. A lot of times it's easier if you pull that door out. Put the screw through the door so you have something holding your screw, and then push it back in there. Line it up and get it started.
We got power.
All right. nice and snug, so we're in good shape. So our electric's done, our drain is done. Now for the last part, which in my eyes is the easiest, it's the water. Do we want a little bit of slack? Heck yeah. So we're gonna take these apart. It's a plastic line, so I don't ever use the metal ferrules on the plastic. I always say, again, what's your water line? That's gonna determine what your ferrule is. Can you use the metal one? Yeah. Will it work? Yeah. Typically, if you do though, you should use a stiffener. The biggest problem with those metal ones and the plastic line is that it will typically cause that ferrule to go sideways on you. So there's a plastic one. It's been dirty because I had it on my keychain. Again, we're going to take it. The fat side goes in first. Put it there like that. And then I end up getting it on my water line so that it's all ready to go. Now this one, because it needs cut and trimmed down and all that, I'm just gonna push it way on there. Heck, I got a ballpark of what it needs, so let's just do that. Let's just get an idea. We know this fitting is gonna screw on here, and then this is gonna connect to it. So let's go ahead and grab this water line, push it back in there a little bit so we've got slack. Heck, this one will go all the way. So we're not even going to trim this one. We're going to leave all kind of slack. Go ahead and put our nut on. Our ferrule. Fat side going toward the nut. If you need to push it on, you can use this piece. It hit it, stop. That's how deep it needs to be. Let's go ahead and put it on, tighten it up. Again, these don't have to be super tight. You can probably do two to 5 turns. 2 is plenty in my eyes. Typically though, we're going to want this to face up, since that's where it casually lays. You know, where it lays the loosest, the water line. Where it wants to lay down. I always hold that nut there and push that rubber all the way in. That way the nut kind of roughly stays there. But see, the water line's roughly wanting to lay by itself like that. So we're going to face that straight up. And then we're going to hold on to it so it doesn't turn. And then tighten our... I did hand tight, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should be roughly 2 full turns. But it turned on me because now it's going to lay like that. It's okay to go ahead and grab it. Hold your water line and straighten it back. Since I've done that, I'm going to turn it and tighten it up some more. There we go. We're good. That's still facing straight up. So now we're going to push all that slack back here. So it's easy to pull out when they pull this dishwasher out in the future. You've got plenty of slack. Go back in here. Don't cross thread that plastic fitting because you got plastic to metal. Fingers are numb. This should go on super easy by hand. And then once you get it to where it's kind of tight and snug, move this around. You see how you can kind of see on the bottom that the nut, this is center, it's not moving back and forth inside the nut. That tells me that nut's bottomed out. I'm going to go ahead and take it a little bit more by hand if I can get it. There's a little bit. Okay. got a rubber seal inside there. That one needs even less of a turn. So we're gonna go. Now I'm not getting much because I'm hitting this other hose. So I'm just gonna do it until it feels like it's kind of tight. Yeah, that's plenty because you do not want to crank down on it. It's not like the old brass ones. That solenoid that this goes into will break. So there you go. It's not moving. So we got our water hooked up. We got our drain. We did it in the back. We've got our electric hooked up. We should adjust our legs if they need them. Let's see how close the top is. It looks crooked. There's a bigger or a smaller gap over here than there is on this side. I think we should drop them because the buttons are up top. We want her to be able to reach in there and reach them. The other thing is we have these mounts that go on the dishwasher. I forgot to put those in when we pushed it back. You see that little slot back in there? You take, I put them on like this. The round side first, or the flat side first, and then the round one will snap on in. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and push him back again. Pull that for me. Push it back in there. Okay. So now, you want to use the screws that came with, because if you use anything longer, it will shoot through the top of your cabinet. Even if it's, you know, if your screw's that long, you're like, well, that don't reach. Don't matter. Once you start screwing it in and it starts taking up into that wood, you're going to push a hole through the top of your cabinet or countertop. And your wife will not be happy. I always like using electric or cordless to do this because you don't have to sit and fight the screwdriver. If I can keep a hold of the screw to get it started.